What's up, everybody? Dave Murphy from Around the Lens. I wanted to take a moment to give you a little tutorial on how I make my inexpensive RAID array hard drives. So I've got four 14 terabyte hard drives here, and I've got a RAID enclosure here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these four 14 terabyte hard drives and I'm going to turn them into a RAID 5 4-bay array that will be 42 terabytes. Now, if I didn't want to do RAID, I could do 56 terabytes, or if I wanted to be super RAID, I could make this into a 28 terabyte hard drive, but I feel RAID 5 gives the best balance between protection and actual drive space. Let's start by getting these boxes open, eh? My enclosure of choice for this project was the Yoda Master 4-bay. It's a pretty well reviewed enclosure. I like the aesthetics. It has a nice sort of Mac-ish aluminum feel to it. And it was under $200, so all those factors combined did make this the choice for me. Now they have a 5-bay version of this, which I opted not to go for. I just went for the 4-bay version, just because that's what I needed. But again, I could have went for 5 bays, but decided not to. What I like about this, though, is it's the latest model, or it's the latest model they sell. It goes up to USB 3.1, and it's RAID 5, which that was the most important thing for me, RAID 5. And the USB 3.1 is pretty good. It's 5 gigabits per second, which is not the best. You know, I did find and see more expensive ones that went up to USB 3.2, but as of this time, I don't have that capability. I don't have that capability on my computer. I'm not too worried about it right now because I think it bumps up against the theoretical limits of the actual drives themselves. So it's like, unless you're playing in the SSD space, you know, that sort of quick access isn't going to necessarily make a big difference. Now, I like to keep these boxes because when I travel or when I move, I'll repackage the drive in the box with all the drives in it, because I think that's a way to, as much as possible, you know, travel with a protected drive. And man, you're gonna have 4 hard drives in here, so you have to make sure you're extra careful with it. And you know, these aren't obviously the best hard drives in the world, right? These are kind of lower end, inexpensive hard drives, but I think, you know, using them in the capacity that they're being used is perfectly fine. It's just like having additional drives. I think you'll be fine if you go this way. Now, I did consider going with a NAS. That's the network attached storage option, but I read about that and ultimately felt that it would be better to go with just a typical hard drive for both speed and also reliability, right? These aren't NAS hard drives, right? If they were, they'd be more expensive or they'd be lower capacity, right? So again, I have to be realistic, right? I don't need a NAS hard drive. I've had NASs. They're okay, but their speed is to be desired better. All right, so I'm just popping open this front door here, and I'll show you the enclosure opening area. So that's what it looks like inside there. And so that's where the drives will live. And I believe this is toolless. So as much as I'm knowledgeable about this, I put the drives in each of these little plastic trays and then stick it in here. I assume I'll screw the drive to the tray. We'll close that for now. Put that to the side. Put this box to the side for now. And there's this other little box of accoutrements in here. So let's open this up. This is the USB-C cable. Can't get enough of these. I believe this is USB-C to USB-C. Do I have? I do have a USB-C to USB-C. So I'm going to actually plug this into my USB-C 3.1 jack. I do have one of those on my desktop machine. So that'll be good. But always good to have extra USB cables lying around. So I'll unhook that. Always cut away from you. A little pro tip when you're cutting things open. You don't want to slash yourself. That wouldn't be fun. All right, so I got my USB 3.1 cable, which goes into the back of the Yoda Master right here. And I've got this as another option as well, in case I need it. Power brick. This is the part that plugs in. And then this plugs into, obviously, the outlet. Ooh, they include a little screwdriver. That's handy. And all the little screws to connect the hard drive to the actual trays, I imagine. Instruction manual, which I won't get into right now, but I'll take out just in case. I will need to know the correct dip switch orientation on the back, but it looks like they identify how you're supposed to do the dip switches. I got a magnifying glass and I got a flashlight, so they could have made the text a little bit bigger on the back. Let's see if the flashlight does it. Yeah, the flashlight helps. Okay. I know I could read a little text. I just couldn't see it. It's kind of dark in here. Okay. There we go. You know what? If it's dark in here for me, it's probably dark in here for you. How about I turn on a little bit of extra lights in the room, huh? Would you like that? Would you like me to put some light on the room? I'll do that. All right. Let's get on with the show, shall we? I kind of have to keep myself down a little bit because I don't want to... How much headroom? Do I have enough headroom? Yeah, not much headroom. Anyways. Okay. Let's put this to the side for now. Put our power cable to the side for now. Put our Yoda Master to the side for now and start getting into these Easy Store Western Digital 14 terabyte hard drives. I'm going to void the 2-year limited warranty, probably, because I'm going to open these up. What sucks is, I mean, honestly, you know, to buy a 14 terabyte hard drive outright is more expensive than it is to buy one of these external enclosures, which just really boggles my mind, you know? Because ultimately what I'm going to be doing here is essentially creating a whole lot of e-waste. I don't like that. It's not my... But it's such a good deal, you know? It's like... I mean, these hard drives are normally like $250, $260, right? Without the deal. And then a 14 terabyte hard drive by and of itself is in the area of, I don't know, $200, $300, close to like $300. Trust me, if I could have just gotten these as external hard drives or internal hard drives, I would have. I would not want to go through the process of having to remove the casings like I'm clamming, like I'm shucking for clams. I'm not happy about it, but yeah. At least I have a lot of extra power cords and USB-C cables. Okay. All right. I've got my 4 hard drives here, so I'm just going to open these up and take out their innards. This should be a pretty painless process, I hope. There we go. That's one. I'm like super gentle with the first one, right? And then by the third one, the fourth one, I'll just be like rip, 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 rip. Okay, that should be it. Yeah, so that's the outer shell. And it's just a regular internal hard drive. Oh. Okay, well, no fuss, no muss. That came right out. Alright. We do have to remove the control board though. And these little mounting screws. Oh, they put local fancy screws on this part. So I'm gonna need another tool for that. What is this? And this is the hard drive, pretty much itself. I just need to get the right star, 6-pointed star. I can use perhaps a regular flathead. Just sort of brute force this. Hey, there we go. Huh. Well, I didn't think that would work. So this is a, stop it. What is this? This is a Stanley 2.4 millimeter flathead, in case you're wondering. It removes these little doodads. Alright, so that's hard drive 1 out and about. Let's go ahead and stick it inside the enclosure, just to make sure there's no weirdness that might prevent me from actually using these hard drives in an enclosure, like some weird manufacturer like preventive measure. I think they're just stock off-the-shelf hard drives. Okay, so there's the screw hole. Let me take my bag o' screws, my trusty handy dandy included screwdriver. Here goes. Hard drive number 1. Okay, side 1. Side 2. Okay, this is hard drive 1. Inside its enclosure. Inside its thing. It should seat inside the enclosure without issue. Alright. Well, it definitely seats in there nice and securely. 3 more to go. Now, worst comes to worst, and this project is a failure. I'll hope that, at the very least, I can put the hard drives back into the enclosures and use them just as external drives. But hey, I can use the screwdriver that was given to me with the other project. If you hear noise in the background, that's my dog snoring. This whole process is definitely intimidating if you've never done it before and you're just used to like dealing with external hard drives. I know I was intimidated by it when I first did it, but you get over that pretty quick and you learn kind of the ropes without too much issue. The only thing I'm not sure about is when I actually go to set up the drive, because the last time I did this, I set this up on a window, or I'm sorry, a Mac, and this is the first time I'm doing it via Windows. It shouldn't be that hard. Okay. Okay, drive number 3. Okay, I think I've gotten the hang of opening these. It's just, you find your in point, do a little twist, just slide and twist. Just slide and twist. Last one. Making good time. All right. Last one's out. We'll see if the operation is really a success, and we have a true-to-life 42 terabyte external hard drive. So let's go over to the computer area and go test it out. All right, we're here at the computer, and I've changed the screen resolution on my ultra-wide monitor to make it a little bit easier to screen record and show you what I'm actually doing on the screen. So let's go ahead and set everything up. Now, of course, before you do anything like this, always a great idea to read the manual. I know, right? Even though I've done this before, it's been a while since I did it. This is a new enclosure from a new manufacturer. They may have different ways to want me to do it. And according to this, in order to set it up for RAID, I first have to go through and set up for normal mode and make sure it's recognized in the disk management system, and then I can put it on the RAID array that I want, which will be 5, and then I can set again. Now, what's kind of annoying is, and I know it's why they do it, because you don't want something to accidentally change with the settings, because if something changes accidentally, your whole hard drive array could be completely kaput. So they have this little set button, but it's hidden behind a little area that you need a paper clip to get to. So I'm going to go attempt to do this, and we'll see if anything pops up on the screen. Okay, so I just pressed the set button, and I turned on the power button, and we'll see what happens. I'm going to go to the disk management utility in Windows. See what shows. Okay, well, it's identified the 4 easy store drives, which is fine. That's fine. That's what it's supposed to do. And let's go ahead and look at disk management real quick. So as we can see on disk management, we can see all my other hard drives. We can see my memory card. If we scroll down here, we can see the 4 easy store drives. So that shows me that essentially the drives are working, they're recognized, and if I didn't want to do anything else right now, I could just have them and access them individually via, this enclosure. But that's not what I want. I don't want 4 separate 14 terabyte hard drives. I want one 42 terabyte hard drive. And so that's what we're going to do next. Okay, so according to the instructions, after I've done that, I will turn off the enclosure, toggle the RAID control switch to the RAID that I want, hold the set button and turn the power on at the same time. Press and hold the set button until you see new disk and disk management. The RAID mode will be set successfully. Okay, well, I didn't set it up in such a way where I can see the screen and also do that, so we'll see how that goes. All right. Well, something popped up in disk management, so let's go see what it is. All right, here we go. We have a 39 gigabyte hard drive that's not initialized. So obviously if it's not initialized, if I go into my File Explorer, I'm not going to see it. So let's go ahead and initialize it. Initialize disk. Okay, that was quick. I have now made this drive initialized, but it's not showing up in my device and drivers. I think I have to format it now. It's online, but it's not allocated. So let's go ahead and create a simple volume. Welcome to the new simple volume wizard. Assign a drive letter. I'm okay with L. Format the drive as follows. I'm okay with NTFS. Allocation size is fine, default. Volume label, I'm going to call this, since the first one is archive. Yeah, let's go with that for right now. Okay. Okay, and it's formatting, so we'll give that a minute or so to format, and then we'll see if the actual drive works and I can actually put content on it. I'll put a little bit light here on the side, make myself put a little bit my letter lit up. Okay, success. While I was setting up my lights, the archive file came alive. As we can see here, we can make a new folder, go into the folder. Let's go ahead and throw some files in there just for shiggles. Just throw a few photos, nothing crazy. Not taxing the system here, I'm just throwing a few things on there. Okay, so there was 7 megabytes worth of content. All right, great. There you go. That's been my process for how I made a 39 terabyte hard drive for under $1,000. I hope it's been educational and informational, and if you like what you've seen here, go ahead and give it a like and follow Around the Lens as we produce lots of great content for visual journalists, visual storytellers, visual information producers, and we'd love for you to be a part of our community. All right. Well, I've been David J. Murphy. This has been Around the Lens, and we are out.